Well. Hello and welcome back to Rock Cycle. And today we're going to be looking at Bring Me the Horizon's Ammo, one of the most anticipated and controversial albums of the year for sure. We're going to look at what we think of it, what our favourite songs, and what does this mean for the band. Now first of all we've got to look a bit into the background of this album. It was meant to be something entirely new and something experimental, and a lot of this is being influenced by Oli Sykes' thoughts on the current state of rock music. He said in a recent interview with Kerrang! There's been no great rock items for the past 30 years. Now a lot of people think this is a bit of a stupid statement, and a lot of his views are pretty wrong because there have been great icons. People like Dave Grohl, Chester Bennington and many more are big rock artists that have defined the genre and still been big stars in the past 30 years. Some even think this is a bit of an ego thing of him thinking rock music isn't successful anymore, so he's trying to become a bit more mainstream, try and get a lot more attention on himself, and maybe this album's been driven by ego rather than the sake of good music. Now first of all, when we get into this album, the main questions we need to consider is: 1, is this a good Bring Me the Horizon album? And 2, is this just a good album? Because they're two very different things. First of all, we'd say this is a good album, definitely, but that doesn't mean it's a good Bring Me the Horizon album. It's got good enjoyable songs, which I do like, the majority of, but are they Bring Me the Horizon songs really? This was meant to be an experimental album with lots of new changes and lots of new things coming up. It's very different from anything they've done before. Each album has been a big step of progression. Was this one a bit too much? Because there's definitely a lot of older fans are not happy with this, and they even addressed that in one of the songs, Heavy Metal, which is kind of a bit of a fuck you to the fans that complain that they don't play songs like they used to. Now I get with each album you got to change things up, have a bit of a new style so you're not boring and unoriginal. But this one, I think I would agree with a lot of people that it did go a bit too far. Like, there's still some songs, especially like the singles Mantra and Wonderful Life, which I feel like they're different but similar to That's the Spirit, which was their peak album. They definitely got similar vibes and similar styles. But a lot of the rest of the album is pretty different from that. There's a lot of different things going on. We've got some songs like the singles Mother Tongue and Medicine, which is sort of a bit of a pop indie rock style. But they're not a reflection of the album as a whole, but it does sort of reflect how this is a bit more of a shift into the mainstream music. But don't worry, there's still plenty of heavier songs, but I'm sure it's not going to be heavy enough to please some of the oldest fans. You've got Wonderful Life and Heavy Metal, which are both still a bit heavy. Why You Gotta Kick Me When I'm Down is another one of my favourites, which is certainly a bit of a heavier one. It's even got some elements of rap going through the song. I'd say it's not quite exactly, but it's more rap than singing, I think, some of the verses done by Oli. Songs like Why You Gotta Kick Me When I'm Down, I feel summarise the whole album's style, which, if you can give it one, of a sort of a electronic grunge style of rock, which I pretty like. And I kind of wish the rest of the album had been a bit more similar to like that and Heavy Metal. I feel that would be a good direction to take the band in, but instead we've got this weird mishmash of all different styles. And to be honest, it gives a feeling, it doesn't feel like an album as a whole. It feels like just a random collection of songs. There's no running theme or style. It's a bit too much of a variance in one album. They're all good songs definitely in their own right, in their own way, but they don't have a consistent flow or feeling to them, which makes the whole album feel a bit disjointed when you listen through it in one go. When they made this album, they set out to create something unique and something different from everything currently going on in the world of rock, and I think they've certainly achieved that. Listening through the album, I can't think of anything that really sounds particularly similar to anything else, besides possibly, I don't know what to say, sounding a bit like Muse, but still very, like, faintly. It's not exactly like a clear influence. It's a unique album, there's nothing else quite like it. Even I know people are accusing songs of Mother Tongue and Medicine being like, ooh, that sounds like Justin Bieber, which a lot of fans are going to say, when you could definitely say they sound a lot more poppy. They don't sound like any other artist, and all the comments like that is clearly from people who don't know too much about pop music. They just kind of hate on it because it's not heavy, which is not exactly a bad thing, but they just don't know about it and they don't really know what they're comparing it to. The band does say this is more like what they want to make music, and some people think it's more mainstream music. That could just be a coincidence, or maybe they are just going after those sales. It's hard to say for sure, but I don't think this isn't exactly mainstream music. This isn't like what get played on the radio. I'm sure some of these songs were a lot more than their old songs, but I don't really think this is an album with that purpose. Overall, I would say it is as an album, it just full stop, is a very good album. I would say it is a good Bring Me the Horizon album too. Definitely give it like a 4.5 stars out of 5. Because it is hard to define exactly what a Bring Me the Horizon album is anymore. Given how much they've changed, like when you listen to their first ever big single, Pray for Plagues, compared to their last single from the album before this, Oh No, it's already such a dynamic change. I think you can't really go into one of their new albums knowing what to expect, because you have to expect the unexpected with them. People are going to say it doesn't sound like Bring Me the Horizon, but then listening through their old songs, it's hard to say exactly what does Bring Me the Horizon sound like when they've got such a variety of styles of music already. Now I do get this is so much further away from their core as before, but this is still, it's still like got their elements in it. It's not exactly just a generic album. It's still Bring Me the Horizon at its core, just with a whole new coating on it. So it's definitely worth a listen to. It's definitely worth checking out. It'll be interesting to see if this is the style they continue in the future, or if this is just like an experimental album as it seems to have been branded by them. Because maybe it isn't going to be a true reflection of how they are in the future, because I think they just wanted to try out a lot of new things on this album and see what works and see what doesn't. Now it's certainly one of their most lyrically well written and deepest albums. That's what they set out to do, and I think they've achieved that. There's even a few like Easter egg callbacks to old albums, such as references to Follow You in the songs. So it's kind of interesting they have done that a bit for older fans, so it's a bit of like an Easter egg for them to hear. Overall, I would say the best songs from the album would be Mantra and Nihilist Blues featuring Grimes. They're my personal favourites, but I'm sure with an album with such variety it's going to be hard to like have one or two exact big songs for everyone, because every song appeals to a different group of people. And I feel whatever sort of music you're into, if you listen to this album, there'll be something for you on it. Just feel like a lot of people will like one or two songs, but not the whole album as a whole. Yeah, because there's such a large variety of style on it. Anyway, that's my review today on Ammo by Bring Me the Horizon. Give it a pretty good 4 out of 5 stars, definitely worth a listen. It's a good Bring Me the Horizon album, but I wouldn't say it's Bring Me at its best.